It literally never doesn't sound good. It's got to be one of the most aesthetically pleasing sounds.
Especially on a microphone, it just sounds beautiful.
It just sounds great. I don't know if aesthetic is the word because I feel like that is like looks.
It's a very crisp sound.
Oh,
Smells good.
smells good.
I think it's the catchphrase.
Tastes like shit.
Not a fan? Ooh. Oh,
It's weird. All right, I'll take back it tastes like shit, though. It's not too bad at the end here.
No, I think the aftertaste of this beer alone is very, I don't know, it kind of tastes like grape juice, right? Like a grapefruit.
It does have a grape. It does have like a grape. Weirdly.
Almost like you chased it with like a splash of grape juice. Oh, whatever. We'll introduce what we're drinking.
Yeah, you know,
it's gonna be a little complicated, but
yeah.
We were talking about it before. We're trying to do research on this beer that we were picking out at the liquor stores. We happened to pick out All Together, and if you don't know what All Together was, like we didn't know
At all.
Yeah, All Together is like this umbrella title of a beer. Basically started by Other Half in Brooklyn. Other Half Brewing. I'm trying to just sort this out in my head.
Shout out to the BK.
So Other Half came out with this idea that they were gonna donate all of the proceeds of this beer. I said that wrong.
No, not all of the proceeds. Some of the proceeds. It's basically a cost-effective recipe that's circulated through 800 different breweries. And basically it allows the breweries to gain sales while also raising money for hospitality works during COVID-19.
Yeah, over 800 different types of breweries around the world got access to this recipe, and they're participating within this, I don't know, a campaign, I guess you could call it. And it goes to the hospitality workers.
Yeah, which is like nurses and shit like that, right?
Yeah, so we're drinking this beer, and it's for
Not
a good
shit
cause.
like that, but you know what I'm saying.
Some of the proceeds go to the hospitality workers.
Yeah,
so shouts out to that.
cheers to the hospitality workers, man. Good shit. I was at home for like 3 months playing video games while y'all were working. So, yeah, not to rub it in your face or anything, but
So if all of these breweries,
shout out to y'all.
This one is from Stony Creek, and where do you know where Stony Creek is? I don't.
It's in Stratford. I think it's in Stratford. It should say right here. It's I know it's by the water. It is Branford. One of those Fords over there. Branford.
Yeah.
I heard the brewery itself is beautiful. Great summertime brewery. Last winter I said all winter I'm definitely going to Stony Creek this summer. 100%. And then I did not do that at all. Probably because of COVID. But it's a drive from where we are. It's like an hour.
Yeah, well, ironically, we don't really go to breweries that often. As much as we always say that we're going to go to breweries, we really haven't.
No.
I mean, pandemic doesn't help
Especially
either.
the pandemic, though, because it's like social distancing. A lot of like, we were collabing with our guys Labyrinth over there, and they had a whole system just on take-to-go beer. They're not really having people in the breweries. I mean, they might be now because we're getting deeper into the phases or whatever.
Well, even with Labyrinth too, he was not fighting, but he was pushing the town to actually let him get a patio out there.
Yeah.
Like get a permission to have a patio and actually have people even on the outside. That was early on.
Yeah, that was early.
And then we went to Dockside Brewing. Is that the new brewery in Connecticut?
Dockside.
And I think that was in Stratford.
Stanford, something like that.
It wasn't Stanford. I think it might.
It's one of the Fords, though.
Yeah,
There's
it's one
like
of the Fords.
if you do it by ratio, every town that has a Ford at the end has a brewery.
Well, that's the
Just
thing about
math.
Connecticut, and I mean, for all these people that
Every
aren't,
town has a
you know,
brewery.
if you're from a bigger state, or from the Midwest or wherever, and I know some people do tune in from everywhere, all sorts of locations, but Connecticut, I mean, there's towns and cities everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pizza places and beer, man. That's it. You can't go wrong with CT.
if you drive anywhere within 2 hours, you could end up in 4 different states, maybe more than that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, any direction.
Jersey,
really.
Mass, New York.
I mean, Maine probably more than like
Maine is like
3.5, 4 hours, something like
probably.
that. Yeah, but any direction really.
But you've seen a couple breweries, or did you go to breweries in Maine, or did you just drink the beer?
We went to a couple, not like in the indoor. They were kind of like the brewery restaurant more style.
Oh yeah,
not
yeah,
like
yeah.
the hard,
like brew pubs or whatever they're called.
Yeah, not like the whole industrial brewery type thing. But
Yeah,
they
yeah.
almost just. We were in a brewery, and I thought we were in a restaurant, basically.
Yeah, like they have like a couple beers, but they also serve food, and they serve other people's beers too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think they call brew pubs or something like that.
Well, when we were out there too in Maine, I think this was a pub. This wasn't a brewery, but we were eating outside, And they had a specific system that I haven't seen in Connecticut. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But in their system, everybody ate outside. You skipped it. It was every other table, and you had to call a number, and you called in your order, whatever you were getting, and then they would come outside, call your name, and then they would drop the food off or drinks off at a central table where you go pick it up, kind of like takeout, and then you just chill out there on the deck though. But you're not gonna go inside.
Yeah.
And you can take your mask off, when you sit down.
That seems like a little... I mean, it's a different state, so I don't really know how they're dealing with it. But, like, in Connecticut, we kind of had that system, but it was just patio only. But you still had servers and stuff. So, like, that kind of defeats the purpose of, like, there's probably no servers or nothing. Like, did you tip?
Did we tip?
Yeah.
We did tip. I don't...
Do you know, like, who or, like, where it went?
I think they kind of like rung you out at that center table because
okay.
I mean you have a few feet away. I mean they were being extra cautious. You don't have to be that cautious, obviously.
Yeah.
But they were like you have 3 feet and there was a big table and a center table where they would give you the takeout stuff and you kind of just paid like that from what I remember. Or they took your card and brought it inside and gave it back to you. So all that. I mean,
that's straight.
Everywhere you go.
But yeah, there's rules, different rules. You go to Miami, it's a fucking free for all. You're drinking beer off of bitches' assholes.
Yeah, literally Miami.
Just COVID friendly though. Just wear a mask and you're fine.
Like they'll get it and then recover and then they're going right back out. And if they get it again, so be it. They're having fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm over the mask thing, but that's
Yeah. Overall, what would you rate this beer? We've been trying to rate beers more often.
Like a 4.2.
4.2. Let me give it.
I would not buy this beer ever again.
I would give it like a 5.7.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's fucking gross.
It's not
like as I started drinking it, it's just not that good. I get, it's like cost effective. It's a cheap beer. They didn't put their all into this, so I hope they don't get offended if they do catch it. But it's for a good cause, so we're gonna support it.
Yeah. Plus, what I imagine they're following another person's recipe. You haven't really perfected it. I mean, maybe you're handling with ingredients that you really
they probably
don't
have
know
like a
how to handle.
limited supply, whatever. Just get rid of it. Boom, boom, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you want to help out, go buy some. Some of the proceeds go to the hospitality workers. Got to support those guys because they're working hard for us. And I mean, it's definitely not a repeat buy. Am I gonna drink the whole beer? Yeah, I'm not gonna waste it.
It's a cool idea. I give them the benefit of the doubt. Probably wouldn't drink it again.
But there is a weird grape fucking flavor in it for some reason.
Happy to support it, though.
Tastes like a flat grape soda with alcohol.
That's a great way to describe it.
And that's just terrible to say about a beer. I don't think I've ever compared it. I don't think I've ever had a grape flavor in a beer at all.
Did you buy another grape one, actually?
No, I had passion fruit, but that's a ghost.
Yeah, okay.
Like, that's a sour beer.
Those are pretty good, though. Those are good.
Which, I don't mess with the sour beers too much, but I like to dabble. I like to try new things, Speaking of new things, I just watched The Last Dance. It's an old thing, but it's a new thing for me.
Well, I'm glad you finally did watch it. I mean, I watched it when it first came out.
What an amazing documentary.
Yeah.
I mean, the way they built that was just, it was awesome. Like, you dove into so many stories. Phil Jackson, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, even Steve Kerr. Like, I never knew Steve Kerr's fucking dad got murdered overseas doing political shit.
I don't even remember that in the whole scene.
Yeah, he was like the president. He was like humanitarian, so he was like teaching people like English and shit like that overseas, and he was like the president or whatever. And the former president had just got kidnapped, so boom, I guess they just killed him. He was missing for like 3 weeks, and that's it.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Jordan's dad was missing for 3 weeks. They just killed this dude in like Libya or
Kerr's
some shit.
dad?
Yeah,
And
fucking murdered.
Murdered?
Yeah, just
When
like
he was
Jordan's
little?
dad. Yeah, he wasn't that old.
Oh.
Yeah, he wasn't that old.
Yeah, then
I mean, he was like old enough to know. Like, he was probably maybe like 10. I don't remember the exact age, but he wasn't like in high school or like college or anything.
He used that fire to become a...
That's what his mom said. He was like, he just dove into basketball. I think he went undrafted. I think he was undrafted. Or no. Yeah, he was undrafted. I think he got a scholarship to Arizona State last second out of high school. And he just went and then never looked back, I guess. Yeah, fact check me. Make sure I'm right.
It's
almost 100%.
No, it's going to take too long to fact check. I mean, I know enough about Steve Kerr.
But yeah, I also really didn't know Jordan's dad got murdered either like that.
Well, I didn't know either. That's why I don't want to spoil that part for you.
Yeah,
Because
I was glad you didn't because we were kind of talking about it.
Because I knew his dad died, but I thought it was more on like, I don't know.
Like a sickness
More
or like a natural thing.
Yeah.
Not fucking murder. That's crazy.
Yeah, straight up murder. Like I didn't know that either. So they dedicated a big part of the show to that.
But it just makes everything so much like that much more emotional. Like, okay, Jordan retires. His dad sees his last game. Boom, he goes play for baseball. Comes back to basketball, wins his first championship without his dad on Father's Day. Chills.
How do you view
Chills, dog. That's instant chills.
How do you view Michael Jordan differently now?
I mean, I always knew it was like I always said Michael Jordan had like this ferocious mentality. But I didn't know it was to the level of what it really was. Like, he's an asshole, kind of. But, like, he even says, he goes, some people are going to watch this and think I'm a tyrant. That's because they never won anything in their lives. Like, that was what he was. He was a winner. Like, that's it. He just was winning. That's it. But I loved, as much as he loved winning, I loved how he handled loss. He never, like, threw a fit. He never walked off the court. He never quit. He just said, oh, I lost? All right, bet. Next year, sweep. Fuck the Pistons. Sweep. Fuck the Pacers. Sweep. No, I don't think they swept the Pacers, but that's how he was, though. The dude goes, 45 ain't 23. Next fucking game, he puts the 23 on, drops 50. Fuck you. I think they lost that series, but, I mean, he was just like, yo, don't ever talk shit to Jordan, because that's the number one lesson in the whole documentary. Don't talk shit to Jordan, because he's going to murder you. Humiliate you. That's it. You're done.
Well, I'm glad you got exposed to this, and this is the reason why I'm a Bulls fan.
Oh.
Well, I stuck with the Bulls. I mean,
yeah. But you were born we were born right when he was
right at the
winning,
end.
right at the end.
Right at the end, and then they gave us Kobe Bryant, and then a little later LeBron, and a lot of great players besides that. But Jordan's right before that. Everyone in the '90s was a Jordan fan. I mean, obviously, besides some salty people.
You had to, yeah. If you were a Jazz fan, Pacers fan, Pistons fan, definitely Pistons fan. You did not like Jordan, I feel like.
Oh, no. Knicks, too. Knicks was a big rivalry for no reason.
Knicks was another big one. But you know why, though? Jordan loved playing in the Madison Square Garden. Dude would just have a ball.
It is. So this is... I mean, I love the documentary. A lot of it was nothing new. I know about Michael Jordan. I mean, you get people nowadays that are talking about the comparison with LeBron. It doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Especially because the people that argue that LeBron is better, I mean, a lot of them are younger generations. You haven't seen Jordan really play. Even me included. There's tons of games that I haven't seen Jordan play. I was just simply too young. But the way people are talking about Jordan versus LeBron, and then they get into like the athleticism and they talk more about the stats, and then but what
different.
I was telling you was about like the legend of Michael Jordan. Everybody has a Michael Jordan story, and everybody has a Michael Jordan story, and they enjoy saying how much he kicked their ass.
Yeah,
and they will say it in the first person, like Jordan whipped my ass
multiple times. Like word, I said this to Mike. I should have never said that.
Should have never.
And it's like you think it happens once in the documentary. Nah, it happens like 10 different times. And there was even that one time he like made it up in his head. Like that nice game Mike shit I was telling you about last night. Somebody, I forget who it was. He was like, nice game, Mike. He's like, all right, cool. Came back, destroyed him.
He took it personal. He took it super personal.
Yeah. But then they were like, oh, like it comes out like decades later that like the dude never said that, and he was like, yeah, I made it up. He was like, he put that out into the media just so it would fucking circulate, and he would use it in his head. Like it was fucking real. And he just built it. Like, how do you just ignite that flame like that? Just switch on.
All the time. He always wanted to prove someone wrong. He always had that.
Like that flu game. I mean, it was the biggest example has to be. That he has like this inner thing. He has access somewhere in his brain where he just doesn't even care. He just goes off.
No, I think he put up 38 points that game. I think it was actually, food poisoning?
Yeah, it was food poisoning. Yeah. I didn't know that either. Yeah. I thought he actually had the flu.
But they were saying...
no, he had food poisoning.
But they were saying how dizzy he was. He was throwing up on the bench every time he sat down. Yeah. Take a little break.
And I lost some respect for Scottie Pippen, and I gained some respect for Scottie Pippen. One, because he quit that one game. But two, the way he hurt his back in that last game, Yeah, I kind of thought he was being a little bitch, but then somebody was like, yeah, you would think so, but like, nah. Like, he was in serious pain. But he pushed through, because of Jordan.
Well, with The Last Dance too, they got into it with the GMs and the coaches, the relationships between the players, and on all levels of the whole sports team organization.
Yeah.
So when you see like what was happening with Scottie Pippen, and you saw like the bad relationship with the manager, and you started seeing like his morale start to plummet, and then you saw he wasn't getting paid either, and he didn't have the motivation he wanted to act out.
Yeah, it was
happening
insane.
Over and over again.
He was like second in like 4 categories on the Bulls, first in a couple other ones. And obviously the Bulls was the best team in the league. And he was like the 10th highest paid player on the Bulls, and he was like 166th in the league.
Yeah, he's basically getting
Give or
paid
take a couple or whatever.
He was getting paid chump change, and he was still probably a top 5 player in the entire league.
But you know what I respect, though? He did say, he was like, yo, I needed to make sure injury, whatever, I needed to make sure my people were taken care of. And like his brothers, I don't know if he had sisters, but I remember one of his brothers was like, he built his parents a house, sent them money every month, like this, that, and the third. Like, I respect it. If you come from the hood, you got a shot to like bring your parents and all your siblings out of it, regardless of the money. I mean, you're gonna sign. Like, yeah, you're getting unpaid, but like you gotta get them out.
Yeah, you're gonna sign. I mean, when you go from that level of college to the NBA, and they're throwing millions in your face, like if we're dealing,
it's outrageous.
Like if someone was like, "We'll buy your podcast," $6 million. We're gonna think about it.
I'm definitely gonna.
I mean, are we worth $6 million? We could be.
I think we were worth $60 million minimum.
Just throws another zero on it. Just
a zero. Because if you think about it, all right, you bet me 6. I think we're worth 60. Meet me in the middle at 25. And, now we got ourselves a deal. That's how you haggle.
How would we... meet us somewhere in there.
Yes. Halfway, dude. That's fair.
We're going to throw our offer out there. What if they want us to offer first? We'll just throw $60 million out there.
Just going to throw $60 million out there. See what happens. I had a job interview one time. This was like 3 years ago. I go in for a bartending interview, and they're like, "Oh, well, we need like a front of the house manager, basically like just a straight up manager." She was like, "What would your desired salary be?" And I've never known. I don't know anything about salaries. I don't know anything. I was like 21, 22. I don't know anything about salaries. I don't know anything about even being like what managers get paid. So I was like, yeah, like 50,000. And they looked at me. They were like, all right, we'll be in touch. And they never called me. And then I looked up online like later. It was like the average salary of like a restaurant manager is like 35 to 40,000, something like that or whatever. And I was like, wow, I just overshot it so high. They're definitely not going to call me back. Because I was thinking about how much money I make in my head. So I was like, I got to make close to 40 G's a year just bartending. And that was before, my old place. So I'm like, I got to get paid more than that or it's not worth it,
Yeah, but I mean, everything in the professional industry pisses me off. I can't even lie. I get angry. I could go on a million rants about just the whole professional industry. Just people acting professional when they're really not. You know what I'm saying? Like, people personally.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you don't have something like LinkedIn. Like, I have something like LinkedIn. So this might be like me ranting to you. But LinkedIn is like that place. Yeah, I get it. You're there to create value. It's a more professional kind of Facebook or social media platform. But you have tons of people on LinkedIn, and all they ever post, like I would say 9 out of 10 people that I have at least, all you see is people posting that they have like the same message, and it says, just accepted a full-time position at this company. I would like to thank all my friends and family for supporting me along the way.
Yeah.
And can't wait to see what this journey holds or what's ahead in my future.
Oh yeah, on to the next step of my life or whatever.
That's what LinkedIn is. It's a lot of like humble bragging and people wearing like the glossed up headshots with the suits on and stuff.
Yo, deadass, I didn't make it LinkedIn. That was my specific reason why I didn't make it LinkedIn. I don't have a picture of like a senior photo in a suit.
Like I have one and I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it. It's not who I am. Yeah, like I love wearing suits. Suits are fresh.
I fucking love.
You gotta love the drip of the suit.
But I don't like wearing professional suits.
But bro, like that's like if The way we act in this podcast is the way that we act as soon as we shut this camera off.
Yeah,
Same way.
And
Nothing
right
different.
before,
But
right after.
But that's like LinkedIn is like coming onto this podcast and literally just fixing yourself up, maybe like have a script and then just acting professional, no swearing. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just not who we are.
Yeah, no.
That's not who I am. And that's why I just never mesh too well with LinkedIn. I mean, people love it. People love being professional, but there's just when you're being professional, I get that there's like that fine line you walk, just like how you're a bartender, there's things, there's boundaries.
There's boundaries.
Of course. But when I'm talking about strictly being professional, I just think that there's all these crazy standards that you have to
unnecessary standards.
uphold.
But look at Phil Jackson. When Phil Jackson came in, they were like, "Nah, this is a hippie." Like he didn't. I think his first day he didn't come in a suit. But the dude, he was started assistant manager. Phil Jackson, pretty sure.
I think he was
under the other guy. The other coach with the fucking hair.
Was it Collins? Doug Collins?
Might have been Doug Collins. I don't remember his name 100%.
It's either him or it wasn't Van Gundy.
But it's like, yo, and that's why I like bartending, because I could be myself. Like, I don't need to be, and I pick and choose where I pick and chose my jobs where I wanted to work. Because if they didn't allow me to be myself, I can't do that. I'm not good with that.
No, not at all.
Like, I use my slang. I talk the way I talk to everybody that comes to the bar. I don't give a fuck if you're 70 or 21. Because don't come to my bar unless you're 21 and older.
Yeah. Well, I'm the same way, which was funny because remember we took that personality test. We actually ended up with the same personality out of 16 different kinds. And we took this extensive test. And I think
and we didn't cheat either. I didn't even know about it. I was just doing it while we were on Xbox.
Yeah, we didn't even we didn't reveal our results until
the end. Yeah,
to each other. And we ended up with the same personality, and a lot of it was around doing what you're feeling. I can't remember at the top of my head. It was EFMJ. No, EFMT. I don't know. I'm not gonna fuck it up yet.
But maybe. Michael Scott was one of the people.
Michael Scott was one of our.
Will Smith, I think, was another one.
I gotta find it right now. But basically, this personality type is doing very spontaneous, extroverted. It was basically just constantly living a life without structure. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Just doing what you feel.
And just positivity, I think, was a big one as well.
Finding deeper meanings in random books and movies and shows, even though they don't have one. It's just, that's what our personality was.
You know what? That was a bullshit. And now that you say it, I guess maybe because we're older, but like, remember those assignments back in school? They'd be like, find the meaning of this poem. And it was like about the shadow of a tree in the middle of a desert and like this, that, and the third. Yeah, but like, at 14, 15, I'm not thinking that deep. I'm good. I'm thinking about Call of Duty after fucking school. Maybe WoW. Probably WoW. Little Call of Duty later. Remember Mike Myers? That shit was lit. But I wasn't thinking about the deeper meaning of poetry.
Yeah, but you didn't like that. I kind of enjoyed doing that. Even though you are talking out of your ass trying to come up with some bullshit meaning, but I don't know. I thought it does kind of like spark your creativity.
But you know what? Maybe they did that to see if we could.
Well, it's critical thinking, It's just.
See, I never paid attention. I was like, this is bullshit piece.
I think it's less problem solving. It's more about critical thinking, just seeing what you could come up with. That's why I always kind of like English. Even though I wasn't good at school. I think I had like a low 2 on the GPA.
Dude, if I got a 70, I was with it. I was like striving for that line. You know what? And I think I'm smarter than everybody else. Want to know why? Because I knew how to get a fucking 70. You tried hard to get a 99 and you only got a 96. I tried to get a 70 and I got it. So fuck y'all.
Yeah, and you missed out on life because we did fun shit.
Yeah, we did fun shit, idiots. Fucking, what's that Kanye line? Valedictorian, scared of the class. Oh, no, something about hopping in the DeLorean.
In the DeLorean. Yeah, we walked there. We were in that gray area. We did everything we can before getting dropped out.
Yeah.
No, everything. We
and I'll never forget. I'll never forget. I used to get curves on top of Miss Lavelle. I'm not going to put our whole names there, but let me get the curve. Let me get the curve on the final. I got this Tupperware.
You pray for that curve, man. You pray for the curve.
Love a curve. Just see, I would be like this. I'd be like, all right, 12-point curve. All I need is a 58. And I'm good. I passed. That's it. 58. 25 questions. Divide that up, and I'd have this fucking equation. All I need to get is 8.5 questions right, and I pass. So I'd fucking study for like 8 questions hard, and I'd be good.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you sit next to. It don't care if that's your boy, boy for life, your own cousin. Doesn't matter. You want that person to fail to bring up that curve.
Oh yeah, no.
You want everybody 100%. To fail.
We need everybody failing.
Everybody.
And you know, curves are bullshit too, because it's basically like, yo, I don't feel like giving this test again, so you're all gonna pass. But, you know, some of you are just too far fucking gone.
I would always get a kick out of the teacher's face when they would walk in with just pure disappointment on their face before dishing out the results.
I suck at my job.
they're like, we had 75% of the class got a D.
Yeah.
You know, like,
so there's a curve now?
Yeah, so there's a curve.
And we're moving on to the next thing.
I don't want this to go on my record that my failure rate is this high.
Yeah, literally.
We'll do better next time.
We're just going to throw in a couple numbers. Yeah. You think there's girls that fuck their professor for good grades?
I think it definitely goes both ways.
You think there's guys that fuck girl teachers?
What are you talking about? It's everywhere. You never see all these articles about it?
I see it on X videos, but I think it's made up.
300% goes both ways. Are you kidding me? Shit. You never see, like... You already know that the guy is with it all the time.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there might be a female teacher, but... Watch, I'll pull
I mean, see, that's a play on power, though. Fuck teachers like that. I don't like that. Fuck that. That's not cool. That's not cool, teachers. You're in a position of power. That's not cool. Probably influencing a mind that isn't all the way developed. It's fucked up.
The first result I got is a list of 25 female teachers with students. Sex offenders.
And you're taking advantage of them, you know?
And, yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is I'm not even gonna bother with this list.
Nah, yeah, fuck that list.
See that it's there.
But no, it's out there. I just thought it was, that's weird that actually happens. But now, now that I know teachers outside of school, I have a whole different view on them.
Which is what?
Like they're normal people. Like I feel
what?
No, like in school, like you're like, oh my god, like teacher, like they have like this aura. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just older, they're wiser.
You automatically don't want to listen. You almost don't want to listen.
Yeah, you don't want to listen to them because they have an authority over you. But now I see teachers all the time, and I'm like, yo, let's have a beer, like.
Well, once you're older, too, and, I mean, hopefully you did a good job of, like, socially developing so you get some empathy.
Yeah.
And then you could kind of empathize
with these I've apologized to multiple teachers.
Oh, yeah, because, you feel like an asshole for the shit we did.
My bad, dude. My bad. It wasn't, I've actually apologized to a teacher, and she kind of, like, I felt like she didn't forgive me at all. She was just like, fuck you. Like,
You took years off my life.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to hold that grudge, that's on you.
You see that bald spot? You see that bald spot right there? That's because of you.
Yeah, I definitely...
You bastard.
Shout out to all the teachers that I've ever had. Except my 4th grade teacher. I'm not going to name her on here, but fuck you.
Well, hey, we're doing better now. If you're wondering.
Yeah,
we're in the basement. It's not that hot today.
It's not that hot today. I don't need a rag. Shout out to fall. How much time we got? We got a minute and a half. So, fall's coming. Fall's here.
Fall's here, and we're recording in this room temperature basement. It feels
literally,
good.
It's fucking relief.
All of these teachers are looking at us like we're successful now.
Yeah, no.
We got a Patreon.
Look at this. We got fucking beers. We got a computer. We got
a Patreon with 3 people. Sign up for Patreon so we can become more successful.
Oh yeah, we gotta promote that. I forgot.
We don't promote our Patreon.
Yo, Patreon! Shout out to everybody supporting. We do got there's actually a good amount of people on there. Shout out to everybody.
There's absolutely. But so when we drink a beer like this, it doesn't hurt us that bad.
Nah.
Because it's already
supports our our project. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we're just bullshitting around though. Yeah, fall time's here.
Yeah, fall time's here. But yo, real quick, if you didn't feel like this, you live in Connecticut, you had to have felt like this. Fall came out of fucking nowhere. It was 90, then it was 40. There was no in between. It's all of a sudden fucking freezing. Do I still have my AC on at night? Yes, but I need it.
I went to bed with a sweatpants and a windbreaker on. Woke up, went to the gym, came out of the gym already in a full blown sweat.
Yeah.
And now I'm here.
I slept with 2 blankets all summer, by the way, because, excuse me, that AC cranks.
I know. I think you're bugging for using blankets in the summer.
All day.
That's not me at all.
Dude, I need blankets. They're comfy, man, but we got to get out of here. We got 10 seconds left. 9, 8, 7.
You gonna
no. All right, we're out of here.